Good morning, children. Up to yesterday we have learned some of the vegetative propagation, among them layering, and layering we have completed. Today we are going to see about the grafting and cutting. Let us see first grafting. See, vegetative propagation, there are two types are there. One is natural, another one is artificial. In the artificial vegetative propagation, there are three types. One is layering, second one is grafting, third one is cutting. So what is grafting? In this, we are taking the two grafts. Here, there are two terms are there. One is scion, another one is stalk. What is scion and what is stalk? Let us see diagrammatically. So first of all, if you take a plant, this is a plant. These are the roots. Now, this is the stem. These are the roots. Next, I am taking one more plant, that is B plant, let us assume. Here roots are present. Then, this is the stem. In this plant, the roots are weak. In this plant, it is a plant and it is a B plant. In this plant, roots are weak. Then who are strong? The stem is strong. So that stem is the superior. Stem is the superior. But whereas in the B plant, here roots are strong and disease resistant. They exhibit disease resistance. So, they are exhibiting disease resistance means roots are strong. Then who are weak here? Stem is weak. Stem is inferior. Stem is inferior. Here stem is superior. Here stem is inferior. Then the stem when it is superior. Superior means this is the part. Now what I am doing, I am cutting this part. I am cutting this part. This part, superior part, is a scion. Okay. Then who is the superior in the root and stem of the B plant? Root is the superior. Root is the superior. Stem is the inferior. Now what I am doing, this stem which is strong, okay, or which has more characteristics compared to the B stem, then this one I am cutting. This stem is cutting. This stem is cutting. Then this stem just I am introducing here. This is another plant stem. This is the scion. But whatever the part left over which is related to this root, that is the stalk. That is the stalk. Here we have learned two terms. One is the scion, another one is the stalk. What has happened in this process? Scion and the stalk both are united and it grows as a new plant. So two superior characters we had now. Here stem is the superior. That stem is transferred to here. Then here root is the superior. Just this much part, only the stalk, very little part is the weak, but due to the scion and the root, again here what happens? Cell division, differentiation will be taken place and the superior part will be grown up in this area also. Then scion and stalk together, we are getting a composite plant. What we are getting? A composite plant. Now see here, scion plus stalk. Scion is a part of a plant. Stalk is another plant part of the same species. Okay. Then both together what we are getting? A composite plant we are getting which has the disease resistance, all new characteristics or good characteristics it possesses. Okay, so this is about the grafting. Then where do you observe grafting? Usually the grafting, when we observe which tissue is involved, for example lateral meristem. What is that? Lateral meristem. Cambium. There are two types of the plants, monocots and dicots. Monocots and dicots. If you see dicot, what is present? Cambium is present. So that what type of the vascular bundles are present? Open type of vascular bundles are present. But whereas when you see in monocots, what type of the vascular bundles are present here? Cambium is absent. So that closed type of the vascular bundles are present. Okay, whenever there is no cambium, what happens? Secondary growth will not be. Due to that, what happens? The development of the stem will be very weak. So that is the reason why in the monocot stems, grafting is not possible. It's very important. Monocot stem, grafting is not possible. Where do you observe grafting? Only in the dicot stem. Question will be asked, which of the following stems grafting is possible or grafting is not possible? This is very important. In monocot stem, grafting is not possible. So this is about grafting. This is the basic concept of the grafting. Again, there are different types are there. First of all, you need to understand what is scion and what is the stalk. Stalk which is connected to the root. Root is a superior here. Scion, the stem is a superior. That scion we are cutting and inserting on the stalk part. Okay, then we got a composite plant. This is about the grafting. Let us see about what are the different types of the grafts. Different type of the grafts when you take here. First one is wedge grafting. What is the first one? Wedge grafting. Here in the wedge grafting, the diameter of the scion always equals to the diameter of the stalk. Let us write here diameter. Scion diameter always equals to the stalk diameter. Okay, so now this is a plant, for example. Now what we are doing here, this part is a stalk. Which shape this is? V-shape cut. Okay, next okay, now this is the wedge. This is the scion, wedge shape. It is a V shape, it is a wedge shape. Then it will be combined. After some days, both together grown as a new plant. This is about the wedge shape cutting. Next, after wedge shape, let us see tongue grafting. In this also the diameter of the scion equal to the diameter of the stalk. Here what happens here? It is a oblique or else whip shape. The cutting is oblique or whipping shape. How the cutting? When you observe the cutting, Yes. This is a oblique or whip. So after some days it will be grown as a new plant. So in these two types of the grafting, what we have seen, the scion diameter and stalk diameter is the same. But the cut portion is there, no? This is a different. Here V-shape cutting will be there. Here oblique or whip shape. Oblique or whip shape cutting you can slice. It is also called as a slice cutting. Oblique, whip or slice shape cutting you can able to see in the conjugate grafting. Next one is crown grafting. Very important here. It is somewhat different when it is compared to the wedge grafting and conjugate grafting. What happens here? The stalk diameter is more than the scion. The stalk diameter is more than the scion. What is the stalk? This part is the stalk. So let us write here it is a stalk and it is a scion. In the same manner here, what I am drawing is that is stalk. Okay, there I am cutting in different positions like this. Okay, then even we can able to cut in this position also. Then what is this? This is the stalk. The diameter of the stalk is more. Then after we have to insert here scion. So now the scion diameter will be less. This is the scion. You can able to see in the diagram clearly the scions are, the diameters of the scions are less, but whereas the diameter of the stalk is more. Where do you observe? Especially in rose. Rose plants you know very well. We can able to get different colors of the rose flowers. What are those? For example, white flowers, yellow flowers, pink flowers. These all flowers through the crown grafting only we will get. Okay. So the question will be asked which of the following grafting stalk diameter is more. That is the crown grafting. Okay. So next one, approach grafting. Approach grafting. In the approach grafting, there are two processes are there. First process is joining. Second process is cutting. One is joining, another one is cutting. So here we are taking two plants. Okay, this is a plant. Now, here one more plant we are taking. This is another plant which is rooted in the soil. It is in the pot, but it is rooted in the soil. From this, a branch arises like this. Okay, a branch arose like this. Then here, what they say, in the approach grafting, first step is joining. Now, here some leaves are present, here also the leaves are present. Okay, now joining. In this position, the stems are joining. Then after what we are doing? We are cutting. What we are doing? We are cutting. So, when you cut, so this position we are cutting. This position we are cutting. So when you cut, what purpose we are cutting? What we are cutting? We are cutting the bark. already we know whenever we are cutting the bark, what is bark? Vesicular cambium outer side, the part is called as the bark. In the previous year also we have learned. So what purpose we are cutting? In order to expose vascular cambium or vascular bundles. What we are doing? We are cutting. So now after cutting again we know that binding clay will be there. With the help of that we are binding in this position. When we cut, what happens here? We know that root on the hormone which forms some roots like that. But here what happens here? Only for the purpose of exposing this vascular bundles or vascular cambium we are cutting. Then after, in this which is the scion and which is the stalk? This part is called as a scion. So scion part I am cutting this position. Where is the stalk? This is the stalk. This is the stalk. So this is about approach cutting. Approach cutting. The question, in what way the question will be given in approach cutting, what are the steps are involved? One is joining, another one is cutting. What purpose we are cutting? In order to expose the vascular cambium, we are cutting this part. Okay, this is about approach cutting. Next one. Bud grafting. In the bud grafting, what happens? Scion, bud plus bark plus cambium. Okay. In the scion means another part, the stem we are taking. Okay. For example, here two plants are there. This is one plant stem. It is another plant stem. Okay. Then first let us assume this is a scion, it is a stalk. Then here what happens? The bud we are cutting in this manner. Here or else you can able to cut in this manner. Here what happens? First the bark part will be removed. What is it consisting of? First bud will be present, then after bark. Okay. When you are cutting the bark in the sense outer side of the cambium we are cutting. So this bud along with the bark, what we are doing in the shape of a T, you are inserting. Where you are inserting? On the stalk. This is the stalk. So what happens here? Bud will be outer side, then after it will be grown as a new plant. Okay, so just we are cutting the bud along with the bark. So which stem you are cutting? That is a scion. And in which stem you are inserting? That stem is called as a stalk. Then finally the bud will be outside, the bud germinates the new plant. So this is about the bud grafting. Apple, pear, such type of the fruits plants, you can able to see the bud grafting. So now what you have completed? Grafting is completed. How many types are present in the grafting? There are 5 types are present. What is the first one? Wedge, tongue. Next third one, crown. Fourth one, approach. Fifth one, bud grafting. Let us see about the cutting. Cutting means which parts we cut? Usually vegetative parts. What are the vegetative parts? If you see, the vegetative parts, stem, root and leaf. These are the vegetative parts of a plant. Then, for example, if you take the stem, here T, coffee, rose, bougainvillea, and some crotons. These all comes under the examples of the stem cutting. Next, root. When you take the root, here first one is lemon, tamarind, raspberry, and blackberry. If you take the example for the leaf, only one, that is Sansevieria. It is a snake plant. It is a snake plant. So what we are cutting? We are cutting the stem. After cutting the lower branches or lower side, we are dipping in oxime. What is oxime? Indole butyric acid. NAA, naphthalene acetic acid. IAA also, indole acetic acid. In that acids, what are these? These all are oximes only. What do they do? Initiation, root initiation they do. So, as which part you cut, those parts, lower parts, if you dip in the oxime, then what happens? The root initiation will be taken place due to this oximes. Okay, this is about cutting. So, what are the methods, artificial methods in the vegetative propagation? One is cutting, next one is layering, next one is grafting. So, with this we have completed asexual reproduction. See here, asexual reproduction, in this mainly mitosis will be involved, where in the remaining fragmentation or budding different processes we have seen. Then two individuals or more than two will be formed. It is a slow process, energy consumption also very less. Then after, let us see Stewart. The name of the scientist is Stewart. He is a professor. He is a professor. He has taken Stewart. He is a professor. He has taken the cells of the carrot, especially phloem parenchyma. What cells he has taken? Phloem parenchyma cells. Okay. From which plant? That is a carrot. Okay. Then after, it is grown under the medium. That seed is grown under the medium. What is the medium? What does the medium consist of? The medium means proper temperature will be maintained and pH will be maintained, and also vitamins will be given. Along with the vitamins, plant growth regulators or else phytohormones also will be provided, and sucrose also will be provided. So under these conditions, when the cell which is related to the carrot plant, what is the cell? Phloem parenchyma cell is grown in the medium. Then they got a new carrot plant. New carrot plant. Here what has happened? The single cell is produced. Whole plant. Which plant? That is the carrot. Okay. This process is called as a totipotency. What is totipotency? The ability of a cell which produces the whole plant is called as a totipotency. So this totipotency only nowadays they are using in the industries, or else floriculture, or else in agriculture sector, or in companies, biotechnology companies which are producing the seeds. Okay, in that companies this totipotency is using. Less time we can able to produce more. One more concept is that it is also one more advanced technology in the production of the new plants. Here the part of a plant, that is a cell. the part of a plant that is a cell, or the part of a plant that is a tissue, or the part of a plant that is an organ. So these three are related to the plant only. Okay. Through the tissue culture technique, if you get a new plant, that is called as a micropropagation. What do you call that is called as a micropropagation? So tissue culture and micropropagation, these are advanced techniques in order to produce more number in less time. Okay, this is about tissue culture and micropropagation. Next, let us see about the sexual reproduction. Yes, next one is that is sexual reproduction. So far what we have learned? Asexual mode of reproduction we have learned. Now let us see sexual reproduction. Yes, sexual reproduction. Here, biparental. Whereas asexual mode of reproduction is a uniparental. So biparental means here male and female gametes will be produced. Male and female gametes will be produced. Involvement of male and female gametes. Next, what happens after involvement? Fusion. Fusion of gametes. After the fusion of the gametes, what happens? Fertilization, zygote formation. Fertilization. Then what do you get due to that? We are getting zygote. So usually gametes which condition? Haploid condition. Zygote which condition? Diploid condition. Then what process is involving here? Involvement of the gametes. Gametes formation, what cell division is involved here? Meiosis cell division is involved. Whereas in asexual mode of reproduction when we see mitosis cell division is involved, but here meiosis cell division is involved. What is the role of the meiosis cell division? Meiosis cell division, it reduces the chromosome number into half. It reduces the chromosome number into half. Why it has to be reduced? If it is not reduced, what happens? For example, here A is an organism, B is an organism, male and female. The gametes which are produced from the male, the gametes which are produced from the female. For example, let us see here the parental 46, here also 46. Then what happens here? Meiosis cell division, reduction cell division will be taken place. Due to that, from the male 23, from the female 23 will get. Which stage? This is a gamete only. Next generation, what do we get? Zygote we will get. That zygote consisting of 46, it is a diploid in condition, 23 plus 23. So, what type of the division is taken place? Reduction division is taken place. So now here, parental and next generation, the chromosome number is the same. Due to which cell division? Meiosis cell division. If meiosis cell division is not taken place, let us assume, if it is not taken place, what happens? Here 46, here 46. Both together how many will get? 92. Okay, this is only one generation. Once imagine, like that many generations, 92 plus 92, 184. So that is the reason why here, if it is the chromosome number is increased from one generation to another generation, polyploidy will be accumulated among the generations. If it is accumulated, the polyploidy, then many abnormalities come across in the body of organism. So that meiosis cell division reducing the chromosome number into half. Okay, so it maintaining the balance. Who? Meiosis cell division. Next. Then here variations. Variations also come across. Variations means new characters. From one generation to another generations, characters will be passed. Along with that, new characters also possible with the meiosis cell division. Okay, then the number of, here through the sexual reproduction, the organisms which are produced compared to the mitosis. If you see, compared to the mitosis here, compared to asexual mode of the reproduction, sexual mode of reproduction, when you see, the number of the organisms which are producing is less. Asexual mode of reproduction, the number of the organisms which are producing is more, whereas sexual mode of reproduction, the number of the organisms which are producing is less. Okay, and also here, sexual reproduction is a complex process. Which process? It is a complex process. Then time also. Time takes. It takes more time. Then the energy requirement also more. The energy requirement also more. The complexity when you see with asexual reproduction also more here. Time taking also more, and energy requirement. Time taking is what process? It is a slow process. It is a slow process. These are the some of the characteristics of the sexual reproduction. One is biparent, with involvement of the two parents it is possible. Next, involvement of the gametes. Due to the fission of the gametes, fertilization, zygote will be formed. Then what cell division will be taken place? That is meiosis cell division will be taken place. In order to maintain the chromosome number from one generation to another generation, it reduces the chromosome number into half, and variations, recombinations. What is that? Recombinations will be taken place. Okay, so these are the some of the important characteristics of the sexual reproduction. Let us see what happens still. Yes. As we learnt in the previous classes about the lifespan, there are 3 steps are present. One is juvenile, second one is reproductive stage, third one is senescent stage. So, senescent stage, what happens? It leads to the death of the organism. Here growth will be taken place. In juvenile stage, what happens? Growth will be taken place. Here in reproductive stage, the organisms, sex organs will be developed more, or the maturation will be taken place. And to enter from one step to another step, hormones are needed. What is that? Hormones. Without involvement of the hormones, it is not possible from the juvenile to reproductive stage. Okay. So, hormones are playing an important role in conversion of one step to another step. Next, here the flowers. If you take here based on the flowering, if you take, there are 2 types of the flowers are there. One is monocarpic flowers. Another one is polycarpic. Monocarpus, polycarpus. So, what are the differences between monocarpic and polycarpic? Here monocarpic means flowering and fruiting, formation of the fruit. These 2 will be only once in its lifetime. Once in its lifetime, that is called as a monocarpic. For example, if you take bamboo. What is bamboo? It is a grass. Bamboo is a grass. 50 to 100 years, or every 50 years once it flowers plenty. flowering, plenty, flowering and fruiting. Then after it dies. Then after it will be died. Oh, bamboo. So throughout its life, it can able to flower only once. When? Every 50 years. If you take rice, 4 months only its lifespan. Okay, afterwards it will be get rid. So what is happening here? It is a example for the annual plant, and throughout its lifespan it is flowering only once. Okay, so this is the example for the monocarpic. Let us see about the polycarpic. Then there is a distinct stage here. What are those? Juvenile stage, reproductive stage and senescence stage. You can able to see juvenile, reproductive and senescence. Senescence leads to death. So that here the organism leads to death after flowering. So that is the reason why these 3 steps we can able to see in the monocarpic. Okay, whereas in a polycarpic, when you see, what is polycarpic? Flowering and fruiting. Here it is completing only once. Here flowering and fruiting many times in its lifespan. Many times. Okay. Here what happens here? First, which phase? Juvenile phase. Next, reproductive phase. Reproductive phase after. Reproductive phase means here what happens? Flowering will be there. When it is flowering, after flowering, then after pollination, after fertilization, it leads to a fruit. Okay. Ovary will become into fruit. So that flowering after fruiting. So this is a, here you cannot see senescence. Why? Because flowering after it will take some gap. It will take some gap. Again what happens? Again flowering. After that again gap, again flowering. So there will be a gap. That gap is called as a interflowering gap. What gap we are calling? Interflowering gap. Example. What is example? Mango. So what happens? Mango this year, we know very well, during the summer we will get the mango fruits. Okay. Again, when do you get the same fruits? Next year summer only. So every year there is a cycle. Based on that, flowering and reproduction. Flowering and reproduction and flowering, then after it produces the fruits. Like this, every year in its lifespan. How many? What is the lifespan of the mango? 200 to 300 years. Okay. So 200 years in its lifespan means, for example, 100 times, 100 to 150 times, we cannot see exactly that. So 100 to 150 times it has flowered and it is given as fruits also. That is the reason why polycarpic. Many times flowers and fruits are giving means, that is called as a polycarpic. One more example let us see, that is Strobilanthes kunthiana under the polycarpic. Very important example. Many times in NEET exam also it is asked. Strobilanthes kunthiana. Normal name, that is Neelakurinji. Neelakurinji. Where does it grow? It grow in Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. In the stretches, where does it grow? in Nilagiri stretches. Nilagiri stretches it grow. So, what is the importance of the Strobilanthes kuntiana? It flowers every 12 years. Very, very important. It flowers here 50 to 100 years or 50 years of bamboo, but here it flowers every 12 years. For example, let us assume September to October in 2006. In 2006, September to October, in this month it has given flowers. Okay, 12 years means how many? We should add 12 years. Then again when it will be give us the flowering, that is September to October, to 12 years we have to add, that is 2018. So, during the 2018 it has given flowers. Okay. Next again if you add 12 years, when do you see the flowers? That is September to October of 12 means 2030. Okay. Again already 2018 is completed, we cannot see. So, if you want to see those flowers, it is possible in 2030 only. A question will be asked, Strobilanthes kuntiana has given flowers in 2018, again when it will be given us flowers. So, if you remember every 12 years it is giving us the flowers, then you can able to pick up the option, that is the 2030. So, due to blue color of these flowers, the stretches of this Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, it will become as a bluish color. It attracts the visitors, travelers like us. So, this is one of the important example in the polycarpic plants based on the flowering. What is that? Strobilanthes kuntiana, it is also called as a Neelakurinji, normal common name, and where it will be grown? Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Nilagiri stretches it will be grown. It flowers every 12 years. Then during the September, October of the 2006 it has given us flowers. Then after when it has given 2018. Next when it is going to be give us 2030. So, this is about monocarpic and polycarpic flowers. These two examples you have to remember, one is bamboo, another one is the Strobilanthes kuntiana. Bamboo is example for monocarpic flower and Strobilanthes is example for polycarpic. Next concept is seasonal based on the, if you see eggs laying, normally a wild bird if you take, which is not taking care of the human being, hen or any example you can take, naturally it is growing, then how many eggs it will be given in a year? Like that if you see the wild animals, these wild birds are naturally which are growing, they give us a very few eggs. Okay. Why? Because based on the climatic condition, based on the reproductive stage, season wise only they give us eggs or they enter into the reproductive stage. Those are called as a seasonal breeders. What we are calling? Those are called as a seasonal breeders. Okay. Seasonal breeders means what is needed here? Seasonal breeders, their reproductive cycle, first one, based on the climatic conditions they breed, those are called as a seasonal breeders. Okay. One example I will give here, Siberian crane if you see, Siberian crane, it migrates to India, to different corners of India. It migrates to different corners of India. What purpose? For laying eggs. For laying eggs. In order to increase its population purpose, it comes. Thousands of the kilometers it is migrating. Why? It has to come from the Siberia to India. Why can't it lay eggs and why can't increase its population in the Siberia? What is Siberia? Siberia is a place in Russia. The temperature of the Siberia, when you take, always the temperature will be below 0 degrees only. Below 0 degrees means here minus degrees. What is that? Minus. There will be a very less temperature, cold atmosphere. That is the reason why the development of the egg, hatching, incubation, you might have known. For that, more temperature, required temperature is needed. That temperature also not available in this place. Where? In the Siberia. That is the reason why those cranes, Siberian crane, migrates to India for the breeding purpose, laying purpose. They lay eggs and they breed, again they go back to their places. This is a good example for the seasonal breeders. Every year, different months before the winter or the rainy season, they come and breed and they go back to their places. So, this is one of the good example. Even mango also seasonal only. Why? Because every summer we get the fruits. So, some of them are there. Those are continuous breeders. Continuous breeders means irrespective of this season and all things, they breed and they increase their population. Those are called as a continuous breeders. Here seasonal breeders only the reproductive cycle one, another one is climatic condition, environmental condition also plays an important role. Here a reproductive cycle only, always continuously they breed. Those are continuous breeders. Here I will explain one example, that is poultry farms. If you see poultry farms, here poultry farm, the hen, these are which lay eggs, those are called as a layers. Those are called as layers. These layers, actually these are seasonal only. Natural habitat which hens are growing, those are seasonal birds only. But in the poultry farms, whatever the birds are growing, those are not seasonal breeders. Okay, those are continuous. Why? Why? Because here in order to meet the needs of the growing population, food requirement and some economic purpose, to getting some benefit purpose, they made such a facilities to produce more eggs, so that the poultry farm, whatever the eggs are laying, those never comes under the seasonal breeder. Okay, this is about small difference between the seasonal breeders and continuous breeders. This is exceptional. Poultry farm, whatever the hens are or the birds are laying eggs, that never comes under the seasonal breeder. Natural habitat, whichever growing, whichever lay the eggs, those comes under the seasonal breeders only. Then reproductive cycle means, what is reproductive cycle? You might have known, that is a menstrual cycle. Where do you observe? In the mammals. For example, if you see in the mammals, yes, there are two types are there. One is primates. If you take example for the primates, monkey, apes, human beings. Okay. Here in this, what happens in the reproductive phase? When you see in the female reproductive part, what cycle we can able to see? Menstrual cycle we can able to see. What cycle? Menstrual cycle. What is menstrual cycle here? In a cyclic manner, endometrial wall sheds off. Endometrium sheds off. Due to that, what happens? It comes out, the bleeding will be more, it will be discharged from the body. Bleeding, discharge Okay, this is called as a menstrual cycle. What happens in the menstrual cycle? Endometrial walls sheds off, that comes out from the body in the form of a bleeding, that is only we are calling it discharging. Okay. So, where do you observe this is? In primates we can able to see. What are the examples for the primates? Monkey, apes and human beings. Then some non-primates. Non-primates example: cow, tiger, deer, rat, etc. Okay. Here what happens in that? Here menstrual cycle is there, no? There is a separate cycle that is called as a estrous cycle. What is the name of the cycle? That is the estrous cycle. What happens in the estrous cycle? What is the difference between the menstrual cycle and estrous cycle? In the estrous cycle, here also endometrium wall sheds off. Endometrium wall shed off, but it is sending out through the process of the bleeding or the discharging, but here again it will be reabsorbed. What is happening? Reabsorption process is going on, but it is sending outside. This is the main difference between the menstrual cycle and estrous cycle. Estrous cycle, endometrial wall sheds off, but it will be reabsorbed by the organism, but here it will not be reabsorbed. Very, very important. What is the difference between the menstrual cycle and estrous cycle? There it will be reabsorbed, it will be sent out. What are the examples for the estrous cycle? Cow, tiger, deer, rat, sheep. Okay, you can also write, you can add here sheep. Okay, these are the example, a donkey, like that. These are the examples for the non-primates, but whereas monkey, apes and human beings are the example for the primates. Okay, yes. Next concept, what are the events in the sexual reproduction? Events in sexual reproduction. The events in the sexual reproduction, if you see, events are same in all organisms. It is a common. The events are common in all organisms, but what is different? Sex organs are different. Sex organs, male and female only, their development, their size, okay, and how do they work out, their functioning, okay, and how many types of the cells are present, those all are different. Events are same. Then what are the events? The first one is pre-fertilization changes. Pre-fertilization changes. Second one is fertilization. Third one is post-fertilization changes. Post-fertilization changes, pre-fertilization and fertilization. Now let us see about the pre-fertilization changes. In the pre-fertilization changes, there are two steps are involved. One is gametogenesis. Another one is gamete transfer. One is gametogenesis, another one is gametotransfer. Let us see first one, that is pre-fertilization changes. So, in that first one, what is that? Gametogenesis. What is gametogenesis? Gametogenesis. Gameto means gametes are producing. What are the gametes? Male gamete and female gametes are producing. Genesis means production, generating. Okay. Based on the gametes size, there are two types are present. Based on the gamete size, how many types are there? Two types are present. One is homogametes, another one is heterogametes. What is homogamete? Homogamete means here male gamete and female gamete, they are same structurally. When you observe, those sizes are same or identical. So, that these are also called as a isogametes. What we are calling? Isogametes. Same or identical when you observe the structurally. Okay. Example, Eulothrix, Cladophora and few Chlamydomonas species. Few Chlamydomonas species. Next, fungi. These all are related to algae only. Next, if you see fungi, Synchytrium. Synchytrium. Cladophora, when you see now structurally these are same. So, we cannot differentiate which is the male and which is the female. Such a level structurally those are similar. So, that these are called as a homogametes. Let us see about the heterogametes. In the heterogametes, male and female gametes structurally dissimilar. Okay, that is the reason why these gametes are called as a heterogametes. In this heterogametes, examples, if you see fucus of the brown algae, fucus of the brown algae, when you see what happens, this is the female gamete. This is the male gamete. Which one is a bigger? Female gamete is a bigger, male gamete is a smaller. So, that here these two are dissimilar, these two comes under the heterogametes. It is a fucus means which algae? That is the brown algae. One more example also we can write, that is the human being. Human being, the sperm cell and ova, when we see, the sperm cell size is smaller and the ova size is bigger. Like that, if you take bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms, most of the reproductive organs, gametes, male and female are dissimilar. Those all comes under the heterogametes. Okay, these are comes under the heterogametes. So, now this is about in the pre-fertilization we are learning gametogenesis. Next. Cell division, like that if you see gamete, gametogenesis, no, gamete. Gamete is a universally haploid cell. It is a universally haploid cell. Okay. Due to the fusion of the gamete, what happens? Zygote will be formed. Zygote is a link between the two generations. Zygote is a link between the two generations. What is gamete? It is a universally haploid cell. Then due to the fusion of the gamete, what will be formed? Zygote will be formed. It is a haploid. Haploid is nothing but, what is haploid? It consisting of single set of chromosome. It consisting of single set of the chromosome. Then zygote, it is forming due to the gametes. Zygote condition is 2n. Two sets of the chromosomes are present. Okay. Now based on that, the cells, if you take, there are two haploid cells and diploid cells are present. So now I am writing here haploid and this side diploid cells. So haploid cell means n in condition, diploid cell means 2n in condition. From the haploid cells, what we are getting? Gametes we are getting, or else what we are getting? Haploid in condition only, these gametes. Through which is cell division? Through the mitosis cell division we are getting. From the diploid we are getting haploid cells only, from the diploid cells. For example, those are also gametes only. Through which cell division? Through the meiosis cell division. Here do not write that gamete, here you can also write haploid, here also haploid. From the diploid cell, if you get the haploid, which cell division is taking place? Meiosis. From the haploid cell to again haploid cell, that is a n single set of the chromosome. If you get, which cell division is taking place? Mitosis cell division is taking place. Here where do you observe this type of the division? Where do you observe this type of the division? Where do you observe? Lower organisms like Monera, Protista, algae. Where do you observe? Algae, few fungi. Where do you observe? In fungi, bryophytes you can able to see. Remaining all, where do you observe? Gymnosperms, angiosperms and even pteridophytes. Like that, this type of the cell division you can able to see. And also here diploid cell, 2n cell, which is going to be meiosis, which is going to perform meiosis. So now a diploid cell is there. For example, it undergoes into the meiosis. Then what you are getting? A haploid cell we are getting. So now this diploid cell is there, no, which undergoes into the meiosis. This is called as a, now what do you get? A haploid cell. For example, this is a gamete. What we got? Gamete. So that this is called as a gamete mother cell. What we are calling? Gamete mother cell. Why? Because these gametes are produced from this. So that is the reason why this is called as a gamete mother cell. Or else meiocyte, which is going to be involved in the meiosis division, that is called as a meiocyte. Then do not get confusion here. Meiocyte or gamete mother cell condition is diploid in condition. Okay. So now gamete mother cell and meiocyte diploid in condition. Let us see what are the different organisms and the diploid condition of the chromosomes and the haploid condition of the chromosome. Let us see. See, I am writing here organism. Here 2n, that is the diploid condition, that is a meiocyte. What you can write here? Meiocyte. Here n, haploid condition. Okay. First, fruit fly. House fly. The fruit fly 8 are present, house fly 12 meiocytes are present. Next 12, 14, that is maize 20, rice 24 chromosome, diploid number 24 chromosomes. Next, apple 34, whereas cat 38, whereas rat 42, human being 46, potato 48, 2n number of the chromosome. Next, dog 72, butterfly, sorry, it's a 78, 360, ophioglasm, it is a fern, ophioglasm, that is 1260. See, the highest number of the chromosomes you can able to see in the ophioglasm, that is 1260. Even in onion 32 diploid chromosome number will be present, then haploid number is 16. Now see diploid number 8, then haploid number means, haploid number how do you get? The number, how many number by 2, 8 by 2, then 2 1 ja, 2 4 ja. If you want to get a haploid number, the diploid number by 2, or else what you can write, that is 2n by 2. What is the 2n number? 2n number I have written. For example, let us take in housefly, 2n number housefly how much? 12. Now you want to get n. N means 2, that equal to 6. So now 6, here 10. 12, 17, 19, 21, 23, 24, 39, 180, 620. Okay. So, this is about n. Okay. If the question is given in a fruit fly, the haploid number of the chromosomes are 4, then what is the triploid number of the chromosome? Then triploid means, that is a n is given, n equal to 4. Okay. Then triploid means 3, that is a 3n. 3n means 3 into n, n value already given. Then how much? That is 12. If they are asked diploid number 2n, that equal to diploid, no, 2 into 4, that is 8. Okay. Like that we have to, if the question is framed, based on the question framing, we can do additions, divisions and multiplication to get the answer. This is about myocyte number or else diploid number of the chromosome. This is about haploid number of the chromosome in different organisms. Now, gametogenesis after sexuality. Gametogenesis after what is that? Sexuality. Sexuality means here which part of the plant perform sexual reproduction, that is the flower. The flower when you take, there are 4 whorls are present, first, second, third and fourth. First whorl, second whorl, third whorl, fourth whorl. First whorl is a outermost layer, it is a outermost. Fourth whorl is a innermost whorl, innermost layer. It will be discussed in the next class clearly. First let us see what are the different whorl. Whorl is nothing but a row. Then first one is sepal, that is a calyx. Second one is petal, these are called as a corolla. Third one is stamen or androecium. Okay, fourth one is gynoecium. Okay, these are the different whorls of a flower. Based on the presence of these whorls, then flowers are divided into two types based on the flowers. Based on the presence of the male and female reproductive part, the flowers are divided into two. One is bisexual flower, another one is unisexual flower. First one is bisexual flower, second one is unisexual flower. Then bisexual flower means in a single flower, male and female both sexual parts are present, then that is said to be bisexual flower. Whereas in unisexual flower, either male or female, any one only present, so that it is said to be unisexual flower. Example, Ipomea batatas, or it is also called as a sweet potato, datura, sweet potato or Ipomea are the good example for the bisexual flower. Based on the unisexuality, here there are two types are present. One is monoecious or monoecious. Dioecious flowers are present. What is monoecious flower and what is dioecious flower? Here male flower and female flower both present on same plant. For example, this is a plant. Here male flower is present, here female flower is present. This is said to be monoecious. Whereas dioecious, male and female, both male and female are present on two different plants. Two different plants. For example, this is one plant and this is another plant. In this plant, male is present, in this plant, female is present. See, the diagram is very clear. Monoecious means on the same plant two different sexual parts are present, or two are present on the same plant. Dioecious plant, it is a one male is present on one plant and female is present on another plant. So, what are the example for the monoecious? Coconut, cucurbits, Acalypha. Okay. Whereas dioecious, what you can write under the dioecious? Under the dioecious, what example we can able to write here under the dioecious? Date palm, papaya, cannabis, mulberry. What is that? Mulberry. These are the example for dioecious. Then exceptional are there. Some of the exceptional points are there under the monoecious and dioecious. Let us see. Exceptional peculiar example is present under the monoecious and dioecious. What is that? Green algae. In the green algae, under this Chara, the name of the plant, that is a Chara. Okay. Here it is a multicellular, jacketed. What is that? Jacketed sex organs are jacketed sex organs are present. Okay. Where do they present? Usually, for example, if you take, this is a Chara plant. This is a Chara plant. Here node is present. Then so these are the leaves. Again, okay. like that Chara plant is present. Now, this is the node. So, for example, this is the node. Okay. Node okay. Node above, what is present? Female reproductive part is present. Under the female reproductive part, what is present? Male reproductive part is present. Okay. Now, let us see the female reproductive part and the male reproductive part, what they had and what they consist of. Okay. So, where it is present? Above the node. Then what is the shape? It is a flask shaped structure. It is a flask shaped structure. It is a flask shaped structure. Above the node it is present. Then what do you call? It is a female reproductive part and it is also called as a oogonium. What we are calling? Oogonium. Oogonium, and some of the scientists, it is also called as a nucule. Very, very important. Very, very important. Nucule. Okay. Then what is it consisting of? It consisting of reserved food material. One is oil and the starch. Okay. Then it is a jacketed, I said. Jacketed means there are 8 tube cells are present around this one. 1, 2, like this. It totally jacketed, covered. Okay. Next, female reproductive part in the Chara, when you see here, it is a flask shaped, no, it is a globe or spherical shaped. It is a globe or spherical shaped. Now, it is a male reproductive part, antheridium. What do you call? Antheridium, or else some scientists, it is called as a nucule, no, globe like structure, so that it is called as a globule. Very, very important, globule. Okay. Then how it is present? It is, see, spirally, like this, spirally arranged. At the end, 2 flagella. At the end, this is one flagella and this is another flagella. 2 flagella are present. Spirally, and end 2 flagella are present. End what are present? 2 flagella are present. Here 8 tube cells, no, here 5 shield cells are present. 5 shield cells are present. This is about what? Monoecious. Monoecious means on the same plant in different locations, male and female reproductive organs are present. So, this is example for the monoecious. Now, I am going to explain about the dioecious. In the dioecious, bryophyte, Marchantia, here there are 2 male and female reproductive structures are present. Stalked, antheridiophore. Where do they grow? Antheridiophore. Here female reproductive part grow on the archegoniophore. Then on the antheridiophore, what will be? Antheridium. Archegoniophore, what will be? Archegonium. Then it is a female gamete, only one will be produced non-motile, but whereas here male gamete will be produced, but more in number it will be produced. Antheridiophore means stalked part, it is a stalked part. On that antheridium is growing. Antheridium is nothing but female reproductive organ. From that gametes we are getting. Next here archegonium. On the antheridiophore archegonium we are getting means on the antheridiophore archegonium will be grown. What will be grown? Archegonium will be grown. It is archegonium, then from that female gametes we get. The number of the female gametes are less when it is compared to the male gametes. So, this example Marchantia we learnt under the dioecious, then here Chara, green algae, we learnt under the monoecious. The plant body of or else here this is the male, here rhizoids are present, here what will be? It is a antheridium. Antheridium means it will be grown. Then the Marchantia body, when you see here what will be grown? Female. It is a female part, female thallus. So, these are growing on different parts. Okay. It is a male and it is a female. In my next class, gamete transfer will be seen. Gamete transfer and fertilization and post fertilization changes will be explained.